Assalamu alaikum everybody, how are you all? So today we are going to discuss about Preface to Shakespeare, written by Dr. Samuel Johnson. Who is Dr. Samuel Johnson? Okay, change the slide. He is, no, the slide before, the previous slide. He is a critic, he is a great essayist, and Dr. Samuel Johnson, he is a neoclassical writer also. He is a lexicographer. I think some technical issues are there. Okay, now keep it. So he is a playwright. He is a renowned playwright also, a neoclassical writer, a critic and essayist. He is a lexicographer, and one of the most distinguished men of letters in English history. Lexicographer means the person who, the contributor of writing or compiling dictionary. Dr. Samuel Johnson is one of the persons who compiled. He was the leader of the team to compile the first English dictionary, first dictionary in English language. And yes, playwright, that means he is a dramatist, a writer of play, that means drama also. And his duration, this is Samuel Johnson. Samuel Johnson studied a lot of literary works of Shakespeare, and he commented on Shakespeare's characters, the positive and negative sides of Shakespeare, his writings, and after that he wrote this Preface to Shakespeare. Next slide please. Duration is Samuel Johnson. By Dr. Samuel Johnson. Okay. Okay. The life of Dr. Samuel Johnson. Now, this is a very simple information regarding Samuel Johnson. He belongs to neoclassical age, and he is one of the outstanding figures of 18th century England, well-known critic of English literature, and he produced a dictionary of English language, the first English dictionary. Okay, so this is all about Samuel Johnson. Next slide. Now come regarding William Shakespeare. And I think that as a student of English literature, you know about Shakespeare. He is the renowned dramatist, novelist, English literature, and he is called the Bard of Avon. B-A-R-D, Bard of Avon. Bard of Avon, Bard means the poet. And one bird is, what is this bird? The B-I-R-D, bird. This bird is?
Flying creature.
Yes? You know?
Flying creature.
Yes, a creature with wings, two wings are there. So, and this bird, B-A-R-D, Shakespeare is called Bard of Avon, and the greatest writer in English literature. He is also, and he is a sonneteer also. And he wrote the blockbuster plays of his days, the famous tragedies, Hamlet, Macbeth, King Lear, Romeo and Juliet, Othello. I think you have heard all these names, and these are the blockbuster plays at that time. Next slide. Now come to the Preface to Shakespeare. So we are the critic also. We will read this Preface to Shakespeare written by Samuel Johnson, and we can we will also comment on. According to Samuel Johnson, Shakespeare's genius lies not in tragedy, but in comedy also. The famous tragedies, okay, you have already seen on the screen, and the comedy is Twelfth Night, Tempest. These are also renowned comedies, and Johnson thinks that Shakespeare's comedies are very much natural and spontaneous, and he wrote naturally and spontaneously the comedies rather than the tragedies. This is Johnson's opinion. And Johnson excuses Shakespeare's use of unity of time and place. So unity of time, what is unity of time and place? So in classical period, neoclassical period, there are some characteristics of writing a play. So you should maintain, the writers should maintain the time, place, that means the setting. So Johnson argued that Shakespeare fairly followed the unity of action. His plays have a beginning, a middle, and ending. That is, there are three types of unity: unity of time, unity of place, unity of action. These are the common characteristics of a play according to those period. And Johnson also agreed with Shakespeare that the use of ghost and supernatural elements was the demand of that day. So in his plays you see the ghost, and in Macbeth, those who have gone through the Macbeth, there are some references of witches, some horror scenes, the prophecy of the witch. Do you know the meaning of witch?
Yeah.
Sorcerer. No? Yes. So the prophecies of witch, through the prophecy, the Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, they have influenced, they got influenced Lord to murder the King Duncan. So these references are very much relevant, and Johnson said that this was the demand of that age, using the horror scenes, using the witches, the ghost, and supernatural elements. And Shakespeare is true to nature. Shakespeare is a writer of nature. That means the human nature. Shakespeare, according to Dr. Johnson, Shakespeare is a writer of human nature. Okay, write down. Shakespeare is a writer, is a poet. I think writer or poet of human nature. Is a poet of human nature. Why human nature? Because in his poems, in his novels, he talked about all the human traits, all the passions of human characters, all the universal characteristics, all the passions of human nature, that is love, jealousy, hatred. These are universal human traits. Hatred. In Othello, we see some love, jealousy, hatred, ambition. What do we see in Macbeth? What do we see in Macbeth? Ambition. Ambition is the main influencer. Jealousy, hatred, then ambition. With the human being, we have some ambition. Each and everybody have some ambition to do, desire, the goal, some objectives are there. Yes, these are the human traits. And what happened in Othello? Doubt. That means the envy, jealousy, love. What happened in King Lear? Have you heard of the King Lear, Shakespeare's tragedy, one of the famous tragedies? King Lear, what happened there? How all the characters died at the end of this story. the love of daughter towards his father. So all these universal human traits are there. The smile, the sorrow, happiness and sorrow, happiness and sorrow, the fear of death, okay, love and friendship, love and respect, all the human features we find in Shakespeare's characters. That's why he is called the poet of nature, poet of human nature. Okay, Dr. Johnson favors Shakespeare's tragicomedy. He wrote comedy naturally and spontaneously. Spontaneously means it comes very natural, very natural. Spontaneously, what do you understand by spontaneously?
Comes very naturally.
Yes, comes from within. There is no fake or no other very much struggling. That means the tragedies comes some type of struggling emotions. But when you go through the Tempest, you will see the story is very much easygoing, very much happy endings there. Okay, next slide. Thanks. Now, come to some points which you have to remember regarding Shakespeare, because Johnson read all the literary works of Shakespeare and he commented that Shakespeare's characters are realistic and genuine representation of human nature. That means he thinks that the reflection of human nature in his characters are very much realistic and very much authentic. Genuine means very much authentic, and it seems to be real as human being. In his plays, the combination of tragedy and comedy is realistic, since life itself full of happiness and sorrows and good and evil. There is good, evil, there is sorrow and happiness. There is a blending, a combination in his characters. So that's why it becomes very much true to human nature, very much realistic. He did not write to teach moral virtues. Some people may say that there is no moral lesson in Shakespeare's dramas or tragedies. Sometimes it seems that he sacrifices virtue for pleasure. Johnson commented that sometimes it seems that Shakespeare is very much in favor of laughter, humor, in favor of gross language. Why? Because at that time he wants to make people laugh. He wants to make the audience give some pleasure, so that people can enjoy, people can have interest to see the drama also. In his comedies, the dialogues are gross and immoral. The dialogues, maybe in some cases, the dialogues, to make it humorous, to make a very much laughing, the dialogues may seem gross in a sense. Okay, next point. Okay, have there, sit down there. Points to remember. Okay, sit there. So now another comment regarding Shakespeare, that Johnson said that these points are very much important for you, because each of the points you have to elaborate in your question paper. That do you think that Shakespeare is better a comedian than tragedian? What is your answer? Give reasons for your answer. This type of critical analysis you may have. You may critically think that why he is called comedian or tragedian, and his tragedies are struggling and the comedy flows very naturally. His tragedies are struggling. That means lots of conflicts are there, lots of fight or human traits or passions, but the comedy is written very smoothly. Naturally means it becomes very smoothly, and there is very much light and happy ending is there. And in his place, the conventions, ideas, one of the most important point, conventions, ideas and manners of one age or country are used randomly for another age or country. So what do you understand by this? That is the universal trait of human nature. The tradition, the ideas and the manners of one age or country, that means the events that going on in that time in Europe is still, it may happen in our country also. It may happen in our life also. This is called universal. That's why Johnson commented that in Shakespeare's plays, the ideas, the traditions, the events, the situations we saw the Romeo and Juliet, the relationship and the battle in the Romeo and Juliet, but in another country, it may happen like this. This is called universal traits. And when you will go through that, you need to know about some stories of Hamlet, Macbeth. In Macbeth, you will have the references of witches and how they are making plan, the plot, making plan of killing King Duncan to become the king. Macbeth has got the ambition to become king, but how? By killing the present king, King Duncan. So this ambition gives him he got destroyed by this ambition. This is a grievous crime. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, they are planning. So this type of human traits is still in our age also, in our country also. Just think of this. These are the points, but you have to analyze it from Shakespeare's plays. That's why you have to read some plays, some prominent and renowned plays, some tragedies, some comedies, which I have just mentioning. Just try to go through at least the full story only. Try to go through those stories so that you can cite some examples from those tragedies or the comedies and the tragicomedy. Have you heard the Merchant of Venice?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, this is the tragicomedy, very famous tragicomedy of Shakespeare. So, and I am giving you some, these are the very specific points from the preface to Shakespeare, but in the next class I will elaborately discuss from Macbeth. This will be your homework. Just go through the story of Macbeth, Hamlet and the Merchant of Venice. Okay, another story, Othello. Othello, there is a jealousy and the doubt. Doubt destroyed everything. Everything. Have you heard of Othello?
Yes, ma'am.
Desdemona?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to go through this. If you don't know the story or the outlines or the plots of, then how you will know Shakespeare and how you will go through the preface to Shakespeare, and you have also interpret and analyze Shakespeare's works in your own views and point of views. Okay, yes?
Are we allowed to write our own preferences and criticisms of Shakespeare, or should we base it upon?
No, basing on those, okay, but this is the comments of Dr. Johnson, but you can have your own opinion. When the question would be like this, that give reasons for your answer. Do you agree or disagree? Then you have to prove your own opinions. Yes, that's why criticism for regarding literary criticism, you have to go through other sources. You have to read secondary materials also. Okay, so in the next class, you just try to go through the stories of Macbeth, Hamlet, and Othello. Another you can just Merchant of Venice. I think that some of you already have know the storylines, but try to read because you have to understand the criticism. Without understanding the story, without understanding the writing of Shakespeare, then you can't be able to criticize. Yes? Any other question or queries? Okay, I will discuss this later, but this is for the first class. This is some important points I have gathered for you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Switch.